My dear students, we have reached at around 13th and 14th century. I hope you are also moving slowly and gradually in time. हमें अभी 600 साल का सफर मजीद करना है. So, looking at 13th and 14th century, Roman Empire is gone. Muslim city-states emerged, first into Caliph and then into Abbasi caliphs, Persians, Sasanis. The civil administration, military administration, and commerce administration. Let me call it commerce. From Asia to Europe, the goods were going on, cultures were being mingled, markets were being developed, and at the same time, religions were also being influenced one by the other. So here we have, remember I talked about Salahuddin? So Christianity as a religion, looking towards Islam as a religion, and trying to see how they can interact in the markets, in trade and commerce, and how they can learn one from the other. So we have reached now around 14th century, where the religion in Europe, the dominant religion in Europe is Christianity. And we have been talking the time of the Muslim traders and Muslim merchants. And around 1400, the Ottoman Empire came up. The Turkish style of government. And Ottoman Empire not only governed and ruled Turkey, but it went on to the Arabian Peninsula, including Mecca and Medina, all the way to the Egypt, and reached all the way to India. That is the kind of area which was being affected by the Ottoman Empire. And of course, Christian Europe and the Islamic Turkish Empire, they were living together in a very nice way. इसी का नतीजा है कि आज आपको जर्मनी और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में टर्किश कम्युनिटीज नजर आएंगी. Very good relation for over a period of hundreds of years. And when we look at this time, starting around 1400, and we go all the way to World War I. World War I का मतलब क्या हुआ? We are talking of 1910 और 1912 की बात कर रहे हैं. 500 साल. So इन 500 सालों के अंदर टर्किश एम्पायर ने क्या कंट्रीब्यूट किया? It's an Ottoman Turkey. In the beginning, it was very simple. A ruler known as Sultan. देखिए ना, हर इलाके के लोगों ने कहीं गवर्नर उसको कहा, रोमन भी गवर्नर कहते थे, और अरेबियन पेनिनसुला के अंदर भी गवर्नर हुआ करते थे. एक रूलर होता था जिसको खलीफा कहा जाता था. फिर उसके बाद वो खिलाफत खत्म हुई तो बादशाह आ गया, मलिक आ गया, मलिक, और अब उसका नाम दिया जा रहा है सुल्तान, और उसके सबऑर्डिनेट्स गवर्नर्स or managers. So Sultan has its army. So you see, you have a public administration, head is Sultan or the Caliph or the Malik, king, whatever name you like to give. And of course there is army. And then there are few key administrators for treasury, for accounting, for courts, because these were the institutions, for trusteeship. 1550, Ottoman capital was Constantinople, जिसका नाम आज इस्तांबुल है. And Sultan the Magnificent, one of the very famous Sultan, उसको सुल्तान कानूनी भी कहते हैं. और कानूनी इसलिए कहते हैं कि he helped to write huge volumes of legal system. And that legal system even was copied and followed by Europe. And at that time, the religions were not having any problem. But of course, later on, there are always troubles and problems in the history. We see it. But at this point in time, what we see is the Ottoman Empire going towards Europe, some parts of Rome, all the way to Austria, northern Europe, northern side of Turkey. It's a southern Europe, all the way to Germany. And of course, on the Central Asia, Arabian Peninsula, and India. Sultan Kanuni was a professional administrator. Of course, he was a sultan. And he developed a system of civil service. और आज भी जो ट्रस्टीशिप का और बिजनेस करने का जो सिस्टम टर्की की गवर्नमेंट ने एस्टैब्लिश किया, वो बहुत सारी दूसरी गवर्नमेंट्स भी उसको फॉलो करते हैं. इट्स अ वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड सिस्टम. They developed the concept of partnership with Christian Europe. They showed their principles, and the religion has nothing to do, because the principles of Christianity were also based on trustworthiness, on being pious, on giving and taking and caring the needs of the citizens of the society. These were the original teachings of Bible. And a Christian trader was expected to tell the truth and to be loyal to the country. So until World War I, Ottoman Empire, Turkish culture, I'm calling it Turkish, but you know, Turkish culture is an Islamic culture. But then Islamic culture, when it came to India, it has its own effect. Islamic culture, when it came to Turkey, it has its own effect. That is what the beauty of culture is. And management principles are always affected by the cultural domain and the cultural norm. That's what is known as the informal institution of the society. And it's very important. And this Ottoman Empire and their management principles, they govern vast area of Europe, Central Asia, and Arabian Peninsula, all the way to India.